Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama sports. We're live on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and X, but you need to follow facebook.com. That's facebook.com. We'll add, when they get things figured out over at the studio, we'll add them into the program. But we're live on the social media platforms. So you can, as always, add your thoughts, your comments, and your reactions to the conversation. We look forward to another very interesting day. We already got Rusty Dent's Garage already up and at 'em with this. Good morning, Rusty. Hope you're doing well. We'll be looking for your thoughts, comments, and reactions this morning. Also, we'll add DC Capstone Report to the conversation. Wonder how you guys are feeling this morning. We'll get DC's thoughts. We do have lots of audio we can get to, some interesting takes. Unfortunately, a lot of Alabama fans are like, don't really care what they say in the press conference anymore. It's all about what happens on the field. And the reality of it does it really matter what happens this week or next week? We the next two games are at home. I really don't know that Alabama fans, no matter how we dominate this game or if we dominate Wisconsin, I don't think it matters. I think it's going to be all about heading toward that three weeks. So this coaching staff, in my opinion, have two winnable games, not guarantees anymore based on the way we've played. They have two winnable games. If we move forward, it's going to be about how they play in Georgia. Then, and they still won't, and that win will help a little bit if they get that one. But the reality of it is, it's just not gonna. It's a long road ahead for this staff. I'm not ready to call for DeBoer's head, but I am ready to call for change, and that doesn't mean changing the staff. It means changing the approach. So we're going to get DC's thoughts. We're going to get X's thoughts. Do you feel better? Do you feel frustrated? Was there anything said in the press conferences that kind of made you go, you can't say that. Don't do that. Do something different. Did one of the coaches take more ownership and direct responsibilities for what's happening than the others? Maybe, maybe not. But we're going to break it all down. Remember that this is the day that the Lord has made. So let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Good morning, X.
Good morning. Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I'm great. Good morning, DC. How you doing?
Good morning, guys. Doing great this morning. How y'all doing?
All right.
Good.
All right. Well, good morning, QD. Hope you're well. QD, oh, man, I hope you wasn't on vacation. He said I was out of the country, but able to watch that mess on Saturday. Oh, man, I hope you wasn't on vacation because that would have ruined it. Good morning, Bam Bam 72, Roll Tide. And QD also saying DeBoer is not the coach for Bama. Simple as that. He is 5-5 in his last 10 games. So, DC, welcome. X and I had. I'm not ready to say he's not the coach. I know the 5-5 is bad, but the good news is Alabama's beat a lot of good teams.
Yeah, I agree with that. I'm not willing to say he's not the coach either. We have beat some good teams, and we've had some games we haven't played well. And this was another game we didn't play well in. I know it's all disappointing loss for our fan base, and I'm especially if people are younger than me, they probably really don't understand losing like I do, living through the coaches that I've lived through in my lifetime. So I don't see. I'm not ready to jump off a cliff over what's going on. I just want to see some improvements made, and obviously we didn't improve in the areas that we needed to improve on the road against mobile quarterbacks in order to win this game against Florida State.
Well, there's I was on with Ryan Fowler the game yesterday, and I told him the scariest part for me is it's both scary and encouraging. X. Here's the thing. Let's pull Tennessee out because Tennessee was a good team that we actually could have beat. Like we could have beat, Tennessee. The other games, it's the same thing. It's all the same thing. Away from Bryant Denny, underdog opponent,
Mhm.
mobile quarterback, and unranked. I mean, all like Michigan. Even though I keep telling people, we go back and watch the Michigan game. Michigan took over that game when we forced them to lean on their dual threat quarterback.
Yeah.
Vanderbilt, we know what happened. Oklahoma, we know what happened. And Saturday, we know what happened. So the question becomes, as bad as it is, it could be a quick fix if it can be fixed. X.
Yeah. When we look at it, it does seem like it could be a quick fix, a simple fix. But this is game number 4 that we've seen of this exact same issue in an exact same scenario, and it's almost like you're beating your head up against the wall. Like, okay, if it's a simple fix, why does it seem to get worse every time? As I said yesterday, the 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 performance it falls apart a little more and a little more every time. They You look at what Pavia did to what Castellanos did in those games in between. Alabama hasn't changed. It's like, well, it's like if it is broke, don't fix it. So what are we waiting on?
DC.
Yeah, I understand what X is talking about. I'm a little frustrated myself about the lack of understanding on what they're going against. It seems like they have a game plan. They're going to stick to it, and they feel like their plan is better and can get the job done. But obviously, there's a disconnection somewhere between the game plan, the scheme, and the execution. And so I think there's something missing. I'm not sure what it is. But if it was a quick fix, you would think they would have got it fixed by now.
Well, I never said it was a quick fix. I said it could. The one thing could fix it. There's a difference between it being a quick fix and one thing fixing it. What I'm saying is, it's all the same. It's every loss has the same ingredients in it. And Jared said, which I disagree with his statement to a degree. I think he adds to my statement. Verse, he says it's not even a running quarterback that gets us. Actually, it is. If you just put eye candy in there and the quarterback's in the same spot, we don't have a. It's not the same problem. It's the fact that you go back and look Saturday. Let me read this statement. He said it's not even a running quarterback that gets us. It's all the eye candy that coordinators give this defense to see, and they can't pick it up fast enough. Lawson was pretty bad Saturday. I don't think Vanderbilt did a lot of eye candy compared to what we saw Saturday. I don't think Oklahoma did a lot of eye candy. They did some, but I think it's because the eye candy, it's just the option. Gus Malzahn puts a lot more eye candy in it. The other guys just have the option in it. So I agree. I understand what he's saying. To me, it's the running quarterback and the eye candy that Saturday made us look just
Lost.
huh?
Lost. I can't tell you the last time I've seen in Alabama. We can talk about the Oklahoma game like you said, but Alabama didn't look lost against Oklahoma. They just dominated us.
For,
Yeah, we didn't look lost against Vandy last year. They just lined up and dominated us. When you look at the games like that, Saturday we got dominated while looking lost. you know, it, it was just it was frustrating because it was like the reactions were so slow, and the reverse sweep. As soon as I realized that they ran it the first time for a touchdown, when they broke it out the second time, I said, oh no, like because you just look how slow we were. We were eyes one way, feet going the other way. Boom, first down, game over.
DC, but what do you do as a coach? Because we're saying it's the coach. I guess what I'm saying is, the coaches seem shocked. I mean, I'll play it on the other side because we need to get to break, DC, because the whole concept is the eye candy works, especially if you've not seen it. But they seem to say that there was nothing surprised by they were not surprised by anything that was done. We're going to talk about that on the other side, DC. We're also going to talk about can it be fixed, and have we finally got to the point where we're willing to do something to fix it? Because I think that the irony of this is if Florida State were to play themselves, they probably get ran out of the stadium the same way because they run a similar style defense that Alabama runs. I just don't think a 3-3-5 in SEC Power 4 big-time athletes is going to work. I just don't think it's going to work against that style offense. Yes, that makes sense, DC?
Makes completely sense to me. I think we've seen that, and we haven't seen any adjustments to it, and that's what's concerning. Is that, and I think that you're exactly correct. I think that the style of defense that we're trying to play doesn't play well when you have these particular ingredients that we've gone up against. And we're going to see that more and more in the games ahead just because of the athletes that we're going to go up against inside the SEC.
Absolutely. So we'll be back on the other side to get things rolling. You're listening to the Martin Houston Show. We got several guys getting in, several guys getting comments. We have some audio from the coaches. They're trying to address what we're talking about. I'm Martin Houston. That's DC. That's Xavier. Listen to the Martin Houston Show. We welcome those of you who just joined on the radio airways. We've been up and at it since 6 o'clock. So we'll try to reset the first quarter for you so you can get caught up. But we're going to keep rolling right here on your home for Alabama sports.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on this Back to Work Tuesday. Not doing too shabby outside right now. No heavy slow goes, but we do have some traffic light issues on 15th Street. Both north and southbound to 10th Avenue. You've got those flashing yellow for 15th and red for 10th Street. So be careful and treat that like a four-way stop. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Unbound.org. Right now, there are young people across the world facing a tough choice. Continue their dream of education or drop out to help their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at Unbound.org.
That leaf pile is 100 feet tall. Your dad can't handle this. Not without the right equipment.
Yard work piling up? Gear up for fall with John Deere. Get $750 off select mowers, $2,000 off select Gator UVs, and $3,000 off select compact tractors.
Did I hear your dad got a John Deere? Yep, bad day to be a leaf pile.
Gear up for fall at an authorized John Deere dealer now through September 30th. Learn more at johndeere.com/gearupforfall.
Local small businesses make up a major portion of the economy, and places like our restaurant really define the personality of a city or neighborhood.
Small businesses are the heart and soul of a community.
Without them, we wouldn't have survived. Hi, I'm Congressman Barry Moore. Make sure to support your local small businesses because they are the core to our communities.
This message brought to you by the National Association of Broadcasters and this station.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
If you're looking for a great place to watch the Bama football game, head to Grandstand in Temerson Square. They have a spacious layout with multiple premium flat-screen TVs to watch the game on, pool tables, and dartboards. The restaurant has a variety of American-style food, including bites, burgers, pizzas, and wings. Grandstand is also known for its live music and great drink specials, making it a great spot to catch the game or enjoy a night out with friends. Grandstand, located on 4th Street in Temerson Square, downtown.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A partly sunny sky today. A few spots could see a shower this afternoon or this evening. The high today 85, tonight's low 66. Tomorrow, a mixture of clouds and sunshine. The chance of a few scattered showers by afternoon. The high 86. I'm James Spann with the Alabama Weather Network on Tide 100.9. It's 70 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Welcome back to the Martin Houston Show, the sound of Bama sports. Your show, your team, on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
I think there's a pattern right now of when teams are moving laterally in the 1+ quarterback system. We saw it against Vanderbilt last year. We saw it in the first half against Oklahoma, and then it showed up this week. I thought, those are things that you have to look at, and you got to go, okay, we had a good week of preparation, but we weren't able to execute well enough on game day. So now schematically, what do I need to do to make sure I give our players the best chance to be successful based upon the body of work that we've put on the field? And so we're looking to address those issues. Those are things.
I'm going to play it one more time, guys. This is what I've been saying. Jared Smith, we're just continuing the conversation we were having with him where he talked about eye candy. And I get what he's saying, but he said it's not just the lateral quarterback, it's the eye candy. Hey, Jared, the shovel pass is about as old as I am. Maybe older. That's really not eye candy. That's lack of aggressiveness. And that's what he's talking about. He also goes back and said, but listen to what he says. First time I've heard this from him. Not what they have, but what he may do. Listen closely to what he says. And I'll just chirp in when it happens, DC. Then I'll get you to respond.
First half against Oklahoma, and then it showed up this week. I thought, Those are things that you have to look at, and you got to go, okay, we had a good week of preparation, but we weren't able to execute well enough on game day. So now schematically, what do I need to do to make sure I give our players the best chance to be successful based upon the body of work that we've put on the field? And
all right, DC, did you hear what he said?
What do I need to do?
No, yeah, what he said was, he said it showed up against Vandy. It showed up against Oklahoma. It's the 1+ run game, which means that it's the quarterback run game. He said we had a great week of practice, but we didn't execute it in the game. And then he said, now I have to figure out schematically what we can do to give our team the best chance to win. Now, Curtis Moore, the second, said this, and I'll let you respond. You say we look lost on Saturday, but according to Womack, they practiced those Gus Malzahn schemes. They weren't surprised. So are the coaching lying to us? No. What that means, I mean, they could be. I mean, I don't know. DC, they could be lying to us. But I guess the question, DC, is can this team execute? Because execute the 3-3-5 against us, but it wasn't a run-based quarterback. So the reality of it is what? What's the reality? We've not changed the scheme, DC. We've not.
Yeah.
So this is the first time I've heard a coach say they can't execute what we want to run.
Sound like what he was saying was he thinks the scheme is working, but they can't execute the way he wants it executed. We haven't been doing that. And one thing I'll say to support what Coach Womack is saying is this, and I think it goes in exactly what X was saying, looking lost. And I don't say looking lost as much as I'm thinking that there's too much thinking. And his whole schematic is to allow you to not think, allow you to run to the ball. And there's too much thinking. I think they were prepared and gone over all these schemes, and in their mind, they were running through all these things that might happen, and they were not reacting. They were not going what they thought because they were afraid they were going to make a mistake. And I think that on defense, our players were playing not to lose instead of playing to win. I don't think they were trying to execute. I think they were on their heels. They were watching with their eyes, trying not to be taken in by the eye candy, and that's exactly what they were done. That's exactly how it affected them, and that's how that style of offense does affect people. So I think it makes you look lost. It makes you look like you can't execute. What you're really doing is trying to keep from making a mistake, and I don't think this scheme, you can't play like that and be effective.
No, I agree with that, and it's funny because I want to go with the old adage, KISS, keep it simple, stupid. But that's almost like what this defense is supposed to be. It's supposed to be simple. But, Jerry makes a statement. He goes, play man coverage and load the box. Take your chances. And maybe that's what we need to do against these types of teams.
But you can't load the box with 5 DBs.
True. And it's funny, Jerome goes, need to go back to the 3-4 defense, period. Jerome, Alabama hasn't ran a 3-4 defense in over a decade. I can tell you since Minkah Fitzpatrick came to Alabama, Alabama has not ran a pure 3-4.
They haven't ran a pure 3-4, but they've had the 3-4 defense because we've had 4 linebackers on the field. They just called it different. It was a 3-4 that he could drop one guy's hand in the dirt. I mean, it's a 3-4 hybrid. I mean, so I get what Jerome is saying there. It's a 3-4 hybrid. But the thing of it is, this defense, a couple things, in my opinion, and I'll cut you off, so finish your thought, but I want to come back to it.
No, so, I mean, if we're going to, if it's about simplification and loading the box against these certain teams, we have to have that in the tool bag. It doesn't have to be our base defense, but when you see, hey, they're running on us, we need to have bump and it's in excuse me, I think it's a simple fix. You slide LT over inside, you got James Smith, you got Keenan when he comes back, you put Jans Pierre and Quay Russo on the edge, and then you have, in my opinion, in a 3-4, you have Hill Green and Deontay in the middle. And then you take over from there.
Yeah, and if you go to that, you may even move Jefferson to the outside. Who knows? But here's the point behind that. I don't think it's the complexity, guys. Y'all listen to what he said. He said we're executing it at practice. So the coach goes into the game. That's why this coaching staff sounded shocked. But it's not just the coaching staff, X. You've heard other people out there that were shocked. People who saw this team practice on the offense and defensive side of the ball, DC, people who saw them live at scrimmages, the coaches, Red Elephant Club, analysts who saw the scrimmages, national guys who said, I was questioning whether this team could be a playoff team, but once I saw them execute in practice, I was convinced that they could be. That's the problem that the coaching staff has. It's almost like this. What was always my concern with Ty Simpson that I thought he had addressed?
The jitters, the big eyes under the lights.
I thought he had addressed it. It looked like the whole team had that Saturday. I mean, you know, listen to what. Let me see if I can get to it. Listen to what Coach DeBoer said. See if this doesn't sound like, I have to find it. I don't have it pulled up right off. I'll find it. And when I find it, I'll pull it back up. But I'll play it on the other side. I want you to hear what Coach DeBoer said about this team. But let's listen to what Womack said in terms of not being surprised. But we played like a team that was surprised. Here's what he had to say.
No, we were not surprised by anything. We were prepared for a number of things that they were doing, including some of the trick plays and a number of their run game things. We did not play to the level that we are capable of as a defense, and so we've got to own that as a coaching staff. We got to own that as players, which I think we are. But I have great confidence in our guys that they will get that corrected and quickly.
Go to Katie on the. Yeah, here's the thing. Listen to what he said there. In Bam Bam 72 point. I don't care what scheme you run. When you have players loafing and missing tackles, there is no scheme that will help that. And I think that was the biggest shock. DC?
I agree. I agree. I think that everyone that I have people that go to practice, report back to me. Everyone told me what they saw, how that they were ready, how they executed in practice, and then that did not translate to the game. And so the question I had to resolve was, what was the missing link? And I believe the missing link was that we were not executing, wasn't playing to win. We were playing on our heels, trying not to lose. And so until this defense, you can't do that. Until this team turns loose, runs to the ball with as much aggression. There was no aggression on Alabama's side on defense. I didn't see any, even in latter moments where we had opportunities to get off the field. I didn't see us in the game passionately, aggressively trying to pursue the ball. I didn't see that. We were loafing. We were missed. We were behind. Our feet were going the wrong direction. Our head was going a different direction. It was like we were thinking. We were too much in our heads thinking to be able to make a difference in the game. And until we get that corrected, no scheme is going to help us.
I agree. We're going to come back on the other side to keep the conversation rolling. Got some interesting comments happening. The phone lines are open to leadership, empowerment, leadership, and people solutions. Therapeutic line is open for business, 205-342-9904. I'm Martin Houston, leading the charge. Welcome you to get in on the conversation. X and DC will be waiting to take your call or respond to your comment. You listen to the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you on this Back to Work Tuesday. Not doing too shabby outside right now. No heavy slow goes, but we do have some traffic light issues on 15th Street. Both north and southbound to 10th Avenue. You've got those flashing yellow for 15th and red for 10th Street. So be careful and treat that like a four-way stop. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
Tuscaloosa Dodge, Tuscaloosa Mazda, and Mercedes-Benz of Tuscaloosa have teamed up to bring you the biggest selection of quality pre-owned vehicles anywhere. And if we don't have it, we'll get it for you. We stand behind every vehicle we sell. And now you can even get your deal online. Choose your down payment. Choose your payment. It's that simple. Visit us online today. Tuscaloosa Dodge, Mazda, and Mercedes-Benz of Tuscaloosa. 3 great dealerships. One promise. Your car your way. In Tuscaloosa today.
Get your football weekend started early with Fridays at the Free. I'm Gary Harris, and I'll broadcast my show live from Innisfree Irish Pub every Alabama game weekend from 9 to 11 a.m. on Friday mornings. So we'll get the jump on everybody else, and you'll be ready to start the weekend as soon as Innisfree opens at 11 a.m. With 2 bars, TVs everywhere, and outdoor seating as well. There's only one Innisfree Irish Pub. Often imitated but never duplicated. Fridays at the Free with me, Gary Harris, this fall at Innisfree Irish Pub, 1925 University Boulevard in Tuscaloosa.
This is the Bosch Man from Taylor Electrical. I had some amazing words of wisdom I wanted to give to everybody today. But most people just want to hear our song, so here it is.
Outlets sparking, lights are glowing. Don't do it yourself, or you'll be glowing. Call Taylor Electric. We do it all. Taylor Electric. Give the Bosch Man a call.
Call or text 205-553-0958.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
You know that Big Bargain detergent jug is 80% water, right? It doesn't clean as well.
80% water? I thought I was getting a better deal because it's so big.
If you want a better clean, Tide Pods are only 12% water. The rest is pure, concentrated cleaning ingredients.
Oh, let me make an announcement. Attention shoppers, if you want a real deal, try Tide Pods.
Stop paying for watered-down detergents. Pay for clean. If it's got to be clean, it's got to be Tide Pods. Water content based on the leading bargain liquid detergent.
Yep, I'm looking at the pages right now.
Thomas's translation company just lost its only 2 Spanish speakers. Without the right replacements, he'll be in problemas.
Yeah, we'll have those ready. Tonight's going to be a late one.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. With Indeed Instant Match, we immediately show you quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed meet your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
It's time for the Martin Houston Show. With the same hard-hitting, no-nonsense approach in which he played the game, Martin will take you inside the locker room, down on the field, and across the goal line with his in-depth analysis.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show. Hey, man, with the X, powered by Box Eye Care. It's a Tuesday edition of the program, so we have DC Capstone Report. Got lots of comments coming in on the live stream. One of the question, Mr. McWright asked the question, and this is the question, because we've talked about it, and we're going to get to the offensive side of the ball because to me, I had just as much concern offensively as I did defensively. But Mr. Wright 756 says, "Hey Martin, you're big on motivation and leadership. Is this coaching staff not able to motivate and lead the team on game day? The work and practice is not translating on game day. You have to, and that has to be." I told Ryan yesterday, if I was running this team, that would be one of my first questions. And it's not that we don't translate to game day, is we can't translate to game day when the opponent is viewed as less than. In other words, the ceiling for Alabama under DeBoer has been the same ceiling it was under Saban. We beat Georgia. I mean, we dominated Georgia for a half, and then we let off our foot off the pedal. But we can't beat the bat, because I think we go in with the mindset, DC. We set the table. Somehow we're not translating. Take everybody seriously because everybody's going to play their best game against you. Alabama's still the standard. You know why I can tell you Alabama's still the standard? If you beat us, what do?
You rush the field.
You rush the field. Here's what DeBoer said, and he needs to bring me or somebody in to help this team, because here's what he says needs to happen. And I agree, but it's not happening when we play lesser opponents.
We'll have Coach make an opening statement.
Other games that happen is don't overthink. What the guys need to do is cut it loose. They just need to go play. They need to block out outside noise, whatever that is. Enjoy and love the game and play it the way it's meant to be played. And that was my message yesterday, is don't overthink this. Just go out there and ball out. And they know what they're doing. They need a trust and belief in the training. They need trust and belief in the reps and all the banked walkthroughs, all those, all that they've done, all the work they've put in, and go out and reap the rewards from it and go have fun doing it. And so, don't overthink this. Just go out and play and do what you love to do. And don't listen to this person that's in your ear and telling you this and that. Like, go out and just do you. And that's what these guys got to do, and enjoy it. And play with an edge too, right? Because we got something to prove, because there's obviously a piece where this weekend we fell short of what we feel like we're capable of doing, what our potential is. So go out there and prove it too, but don't put added pressure on yourself. Have fun.
All right. I'll let you guys respond.
No, that's what I've been saying this whole time today, is I think that was lacking. We didn't see that. And I think he recognizes it. I don't think he understands why, but I believe on defense, we were overthinking it. And generally we were playing not to make a mistake. On offense, we didn't cut it loose. He said later on in his press conference, the exact thing I said. I had just as much questions about the offense because it looked like we were playing 10-2. The play calling all the way down to the execution. And he said, Ty Simpson, he's got to cut it loose. He's got to throw. He can make the throws. You just got to have confidence that he can do that. And I didn't see that from the quarterback position on Saturday. And I didn't see that from the defense. I didn't see the passion. I didn't see the aggressiveness. I didn't see the just turning loose and letting it fly and playing. That is what was missing, I think, in this game. And it's missing when we go on the road, because I think we just overthink it. And we were overthinking it Saturday. And if we don't get that fixed, we're in for a long season.
Ryan Anderson, former Alabama linebacker, national champion, had this to say. He said Alabama really looked like a West Coast team, soft and out of place on defense. No grit, no fight. Just lay down and let them stick it anywhere they wanted to. Right. That describes what we saw from Alabama. They're not cutting loose. They're not playing fast. They're not playing. I'm pretty sure people have seen it from former players. Hey, if they were on this team, that dead on the sideline, no life, no energy would not be a thing, especially when you get behind. There's no fight in this team, and that's what Coach is talking about. cutting loose, having fun. Go play the game.
All right. So are they responding? Why do they play well at home?
The atmosphere, maybe.
I believe because they're comfortable, because they're not playing to keep from losing. They feel like they can win at home. I don't think they feel like they can win on the road.
Okay. Now this is where empowerment leadership comes in. All right. Okay. Listen. At home, what do they have at home? They have the home crowd that juices them. And QD said, guys, it's the head coach. Why are we making it so difficult? 3 exclamation points. Why can't the team translate from practice to the game? 3 question marks. That's the head coach. And here's the important part. And his staff main job. Here's and that's why I told you, listen, I know earlier someone said, I said, Womack was different yesterday. Womack didn't make excuses, in my opinion. You can tell there's a difference. He was real. Listen to what he said when he was asked, why is this team hesitant? Listen to what he says, guys.
I think, again, that goes into the pattern of us on the road as a football team. You know, I think about the 2 games and a half that we, defensively have played timid and on our heels. And those are situations where on the road, we've got to make sure that we protect our sideline. I talk about it all the time. The sideline is a living, breathing organism that you've got to make sure you're doing your job to feed that the right way. And so, even as a coach,
I'm gonna let you go back and listen to it. Listen to what he said. Listen one more time.
2 games and a half that we, defensively have played timid and on our heels. And those are situations where on the road, we've got to make sure that we protect our sideline. I talk about it all the time. The sideline is a living, breathing organism that you've got to make sure you're doing your job to feed that the right way. And so, even as a coaching staff, we got to make sure that we're challenging ourselves. There's so many things now with the iPads that you're making checks and adjustments and corrections, but let's make sure that we're also keep the main thing as a coaching staff, right? That we are making sure our players are ready to physically, mentally go out on the field and go play in an attacking mindset. And that's something that we didn't do a good enough job as a coaching staff.
All right, guys. Did the coach just answer what we were just talking about? What did you hear him say, DC?
That the coaches on the sideline were more worried about showing them the plays and getting in their heads instead of motivating them to play their best. That they didn't have a cheerleader on the sideline to get them heads in the game. They were still making them focus too much on the schemes and the eye candy and what was happening, what was doing, what they were messing up on, instead of getting their head in the game and just turn loose and go play.
X.
I agree with what DC just said, and you know what? This has been a trend, in my opinion, that's been happening since before Coach Saban left, and it started when we lost Scott Cochran. Congratulations to him on winning his first game at West Alabama this weekend. He was the sideline motivation. He was the get the team pumped no matter what. Every time they showed him on the sideline, he was loud, hype, everything. And that fed into the team and allowed a lot of the other coaches just to focus on what Coach Womack was talking about in getting guys ready, everything. But you had the hype guy. And Alabama doesn't have that. It hasn't had that. And you've slowly seen Alabama sidelines die off in the excitement, the loudness since he left. And now with the new coaching staff, it's nothing.
Did you hear him say you have to feed the sideline? You have to nurture it. You have
it's a living, breathing organism, he said.
Yes. So if the sideline is a living, breathing organism and a coach realizes that, he said, man, we have so many things. The technology and all those things are great tools, and they're helpful as long as you do what? Keep the main thing the main thing. And the main thing The main thing being the main thing is that football players make plays. It's not all about X's and O's. It's about the Jimmies and the Joes. And if your X's and O's are right, but your Jimmy and Joes aren't engaged and pumped up and fighting and encouraging each other and pumping each other up. Look at the two sidelines Saturday. Look at Florida State sideline. Look at Alabama sideline. Look at Oklahoma sideline. Look at Alabama sideline. Look at Vanderbilt sideline. Look at Alabama sideline. Look at Tennessee sideline. Go back and watch the Georgia game. Look at Alabama sideline in the first half, Georgia sideline in the second half. Go back and look at that, and then you'll see what's happening in the games. And the reason it doesn't manifest as bad on the road is because you are there at home, Bama Nation. You're feeling that juice. You're getting them hyped. Well, when Alabama makes a play on the road, who gets them hyped? Who?
Alabama makes a play on the road, they still hear boos.
And you shouldn't have to have that, but until you get to that championship level, you have to have that. So I think Womack was being open and honest with us for one of the first. That was about as clear an ownership of coaches not doing their job, in his opinion, as I've heard one guy say. So
I agree.
We'll be back on the other side to put the finishing touches on this edition. We'll throw a little offensive in there because I got questions. Grubb was a disappointment for me. Maybe he fixes it, maybe not.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on the Tuesday edition of The Game, we'll start turning our head toward ULM. We'll do a Southern Owl House score prediction day. We'll talk to Mike Detillier and a lot more starting at 2 p.m. here on The Game with Ryan Fowler on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. Good Tuesday morning to you. Seeing a little bit of a slow go on McFarland right now. Eastbound lanes at Old Montgomery Highway and also Old Montgomery as you move on to McFarland Boulevard. You're going to slow down just a notch there. And as far as 2059 is concerned, well, that's peachy from McFarland to Joe Malisham. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, I'm Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Compassion International.
Every day, a child in poverty waits for a sponsor is another day of hopelessness. There are thousands of kids who've been waiting over a year. End their wait. Sponsor a child with compassion today. Just text the word radio to 83393.
Under the biggest cactus in town, Taco Casa. Quality is number one. You got to start with a good quality product, but it's got to be at a good value to the customers.
Everything is about quality.
You just can't beat the quality, taste, and value.
And it's because we take pride in providing you with the best.
Good customer service and good food, good quality.
We want to make sure that we give that to them each and every time they come and visit us.
The sense of pride that we have in the quality, the consistency of our food carries over to everything we do in the stores. That's Taco Casa.
Taco Casa, quality, taste, and value under the biggest cactus in town. They've been doing it the right way each and every day for 50 years and counting. If you're looking for a great option for lunch and or dinner, then you need to check out Taco Casa. And while you're there, don't forget to get a big glass of that sweet tea. Visit them online at tacocasa.com. That's tacocasa.com. Quality, taste, and value on the biggest cactus in town. That's Taco Casa, tacocasa.com.
Do you have timberland you don't know what to do with? Give North River Timber Company a call. Courtney White and his team of over 20 years experience offer timber harvesting, timber appraisals, comprehensive management plans for that special tract of land that you own. Courtney and his team can help you decide how to maximize your highest potential for your land. Timber is like money in the bank. See what your investment can do for you. Contact Courtney White at 205-242-5127. North River Timber, co@gmail.com. North River Timber Company.
Houston Hydrosteam. That's Houston Hydrosteam. Quality work you can stand on. Whether you're looking for carpet and upholstery cleaning, oriental rug cleaning, residential or commercial water damage, and a whole lot more, you need to call Houston Hydrosteam at 205-553-9460, 553-9460, or visit them online at houstonhydrosteam.com. And once again, Houston Hydrosteam is quality work you can stand on.
Tuscaloosa Oktoberfest, presented by UA Online, is back Saturday, September 20th at Government Plaza from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Enjoy authentic German food, live music, and fun for the whole family. Kids can join games and activities in the Kids Zone and even watch the brand new dog costume contest at 11:15. Entry is free, and food and drink will be available for purchase. Mark your calendar. Tuscaloosa Oktoberfest, September 20th at Government Plaza. Learn more at TuscaloosaOktoberfest.com.
The sound of Bama Sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
I thought, KP, I thought had a pretty good day. That and just keep moving.
I got
for
to
the
restart
quarterback.
this. Hold on.
On the left side I thought, KP, I thought had a pretty good day. There was a couple late pressures, but I mean he was holding up for a long time. Interior pressures were a couple times we had a few problems, which is always the hardest for the quarterback to deal with is interior pressures fast. So they shored up later in the fourth on that, but I think.
All right. So I want you to hear him say that he thought KP had a good day, guys. I want you to hear that. And then let me see what else. Let me see.
So that certainly is part of it. I think that, some of the run hits and adjustments that they made at some point are at.
Go to the right side of Charlie.
Yeah, Coach, you had a strong first drive on the ground, and it kind of seemed like you got away from the run a little bit. What led to that decision?
Well, I think some of it, probably the later part, is, the run game can be a softening process at times, and you hope that you can play with the lead or get into that late third and fourth quarter and really put the hammer down on the run game. And, obviously we didn't get that opportunity late.
So I'm going to stop right there just because of time, DC and X. But listen to what he said. First of all, he thought Caden Proctor had a good game. Number two is his philosophy on the run game is he uses to soften up. His philosophy is to use it when you're ahead or to put the hammer down. Take it away. I got to get it to a caller. Go ahead, DC.
Well, I mean, I just thinking that I was disappointed in the play calling in the game and the way things went. I wasn't as disappointed. I know everybody was kind of down on offensive line, but if you look at the statistics, Ty Simpson had more time to throw than any other quarterback against Power 5 school on Saturday. So I'm not going to blame that. I blame the offensive coordinator for the play calling. I blame Ty Simpson for not executing and letting the ball fly and getting it to the open receiver. So I think our offense just wasn't up to what I expected from a grind grub offense.
Yeah. First of all, Caden Proctor did not play a good game. I don't care what he has to say about that. Two, the run game worked great on one drive, and then you completely went away from it. So what did you soften up?
He talking about that's how you put the finishing blows on it. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. But real quick, I think the 3.38 seconds thing is a little deceiving because at times there was great protection, at times there wasn't, and that's the average. So I do think that Ty held the ball a little long, DC. I totally agree with that. But I also think that I thought the middle of the line was the best part of the offensive line. So maybe I don't know what I'm supposed to be looking at. But KP let guys go. He did too many lookout blocks, in my opinion. Philip, you're in on the Empowerment Leadership and People Solutions Hotline. I know it's rushed, but what you got for us?
Well, I hate to be an alarmist, and Womack seems like a nice guy and an engaging and interesting fellow to listen to, but his propensity for talking could be his downfall. If Georgia and Vandy poke holes in this defense and beat Alabama, he better, at that point, I'm not ruling out a possibility he gets sacked mid-season if that happens.
I mean, if we don't fix it, yeah. And everybody's calling for Russell. It's time for Austin Mack if we're going to make a change. I'm not Austin Mack. Anyway, Chapman family, but everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm not sure that we're ready to make a change, but if we make a change, guys, thanks, Philip. Sorry, got to get out of here. DC, closing thoughts.
Well, I guess what I said all along was the culture of this team's different. I guess if if that's gonna be true, we're gonna see how they're gonna respond. Are they gonna respond and play better? And we'll know when we get to Georgia. As you say earlier, these next 2 games are winnable games, and we beat Georgia on the road might be something that's impressive to do. But it'll also be known when we get that next running quarterback on the road how we're gonna do at that game.
Yep, Mr. McWright said it. Mr. Wright 756 said it best. X. There was nothing sweeter than going to on the road and hearing the fans yelling "Go Vols" to silence, and all you hear in the visiting stadium is "Roll Tide." We're not that team right now. Can we get there? I don't know, but we'll talk about it. We'll keep it going. That's DC Capstone Report. That's Xavier Houston. He's with me. He and I every day, and we thank all the callers, listeners, viewers, and chatters for being a part of the program. Remember this, trust in the Lord always, lean not your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he will direct your paths. Hey, go check out DC Capstone Report.com, DCCapstoneReport.com, powered by Aaron Cottingham of Keller Williams. Thanks, guys. Sorry we couldn't get to everything. Don't get out of here. I got to take the grandson to school. Full time.
Roll Tide.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Here's what